working.
Live at 5, baby.
If one of you guys got another computer, see if you can pull it up. See if you can pull it up.
I'm on it right now.
Go to
Are you cool?
Go to Let's Talk Dubs and see if we should be live right now. Let's see here.
What's the page? What page is it on?
Let's Talk Dubs.
Oh, duh.
I'm gonna text Bob, see where he at.
Bob's on, bro. He's on camera 6. He's trying to be all low key.
He's standing by.
I see what
So we're looking at a space shuttle instead of Bobby D, Lil Pitt.
All right, so it says we're connected to Facebook. So it says we're going. I don't know if we got live. George, you seeing something live on your phone? I got my phone working as my backup camera. So
I am on my computer and on the Facebook page.
on Let's Talk Dubs.
Yeah, the Let's Talk Dubs podcast, and no.
There's like 9-year-olds laughing at us right now because they're like, "Oh, look at these old boomers that can't figure this out." we should get Bob's daughter Danica to come on here and show us how it's done. She does all that stuff, I think.
Well, it should be all connected. It's
plays like Roblox and all the cool hip stuff that we know nothing about.
Live recap. Are you on? You have your phone in your pocket, Tori? My phone is being used currently for.
I got my phone right here. What?
Just go
no. I can look it up. What are we looking at?
Let's Talk Dubs.
On Facebook?
Switch now.
On Facebook or on Instagram?
Facebook. It should be on Facebook.
All right, let me look. This is probably something we should have done earlier, but
Bob says I keep yelling.
Bobby D said I keep yelling, but you can't hear me.
Hold on, let's bring Bob. Let's bring Bob in, bro.
Hang on, Lil Pitt. We're gonna get to you.
We got old Darkness. There he is, right there. All right, I got a thumbs up. Somebody gave us a thumbs up. If you guys can hear us, say what's up. Say what's up. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm gonna do here.
We look like we're filming on a potato right now.
Who says
little
that?
pixelated.
Is that what someone says or what?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like looking at the screen right now, and it looks kind of pixelated. Maybe it's just me.
Could be. Look, bro,
are you looking clear?
We're all wireless right now. Let's see here.
I'm not wireless. I'm wired in, baby. I got the real stuff. I got the Ethernet.
Damn.
I'm busy.
I know.
I'm busy sharing the internet with 19 people in my house right now, bro. So I'm sure.
Oh, dude, you got to kick them off Netflix, man. We can't have this.
All right. Well,
you know this GNRS thing, like,
I'm trapped.
takes precedence.
It's
over
in here, dude.
anyone that's streaming.
Oh, I don't even know why I'm just not on this, dude. Seriously, let's go here. Let me see, dude. Let me see what I got happening here on the screen. Get out of here. Okay, cancel.
Bobby D might not have his microphone on. We got to figure that out too.
You guys can't hear or see me, so we can't hear or see Bob. He's got a big black X on his page. And let's see here. I just heard something like Bobby's coming on. Let me see here. Facebook. Go groups. Let's Talk Dubs podcast. You're now interacting. What's up? Let's see. I don't see us on here, bro.
That's weird because when we did it last night, it seemed to actually work. It was doing good.
Bro, we're losing pixelation very quickly. I'm starting to feel the symptoms. I need some meds.
Yeah. Are you able to see this?
I need another vaccine, bro.
Yo, you trying to get somebody to roll over your house and stick you, bro? I know what's up. You're now interacting as Let's Talk Dubs. How can I interact as Let's Talk Dubs if we're going live? So, some way, somehow. Somebody gave us a like, and I don't know who gave us a like. Evening, all Martin Greaves. So, Martin.
Maybe.
Yeah, that guy's
Martin
probably gone
Greaves
now.
on there. So Martin, you
peaced out. He's like, yeah, you guys
Martin,
figured it out.
You can see us on Facebook right now. You can see us. Copy that. Give me a thumbs up because I can't see it on my stream. Can you see it on your stream, Tori?
help a boomer out, man.
Look at Bob, bro. Bob Daniels. What kind of?
Let's see.
What kind of backwoods?
You know what you probably should do too.
Let's see.
If we can get Bobby D on here, what we should do is have someone do a link on the 80s page. Bobby G. Yeah, now he's back in, I think. Oh, now he's green. Maybe that's a good thing. I see a little green person next to Bobby D. I can hear you. Oh, look at you. You got to upstage everybody in the background, dude. Bastard.
I couldn't use my tablet, and I couldn't use my my phone.
Right.
You like that? All right.
He's doing the roast.
All right, let's hear it. Boom.
Bob literally looks like he's like sitting in that diner from Back to the Future.
All right, so we
That's dope. Yep.
It says we're very quiet. Martin, I need your feedback right away since Martin's our only watcher right now. Martin, is the audio getting better as I turn the volume up? Yes or no? Let's see here. Let me do this. Our latency is 42 milliseconds. Let's see. All right. It says we're very quiet.
Dude, it's on your page, dog.
Are you? It should be on my page. Are you seeing it on
Well,
my
I can
page?
turn mine up.
All right, let's see. That's off now. Well,
It's on your personal page, on your Bill T page.
Is it on my personal page? Let's see here. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Oh, dang, bro. We are live now. All right, you guys keep it. All right, keep it PG. Class it up, bro, because I got people watching on here. All right, let's see. Let me check my volume right quick.
All right. PG, no potty mouth here.
What's up?
Keep it clean.
We got Rick Meredith on there. All right, so
yeah, I'm still looking pretty pixelated.
All right, yep. Mark D. Hey, you guys remember? See Mark Andrews right there where he says, "Yep." In the comments, you see a dude named Mark Andrews. That's the dude that got me carjacked. Just gonna let you know that right now, dude. That's my homeboy Mark that we got carjacked with.
It made for a good story in the truck that morning on our way to breakfast, though.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Look, my audio sounds good. Martin, you got to hit your volume. So my audio sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and mute this. Dang, bro, I can't watch myself and do it. It's like driving a car and playing a race car video game. I can't watch this. So I don't know why this is on live. It's ridiculous. All right. Anyway, it's on Bill T. So anybody that sees me on here, that's what it is. So I'm going to mute out of here so I don't got to look at this. All right. So the Freel group's on there, man. That's right. Freel, I didn't get to see Freel while we were down there. Everybody, welcome.
Oh that's right.
Green M&M in the house.
All right, boys, let's not step on each other. Let's pay close attention when I stop talking. You want me to go over so you guys know? Let's try to do a little bit professional right over here. So here's what's going. My boy Mark D says, "Wow, that's the latency right there. It's taking a little bit of time for him to get that to me." So I'd like to welcome everybody to the podcast. On today's podcast that we have going live streaming from the four corners of, all right, so three corners. We got Pennsylvania. We got Tori Alonso and Bobby Daniels in the house. What's up, guys?
What's up?
You may speak. Go ahead. And then from Sacktown, we got Mr. George McCulloch up in there. Georgie, what's up?
Hey, what up, everybody?
All right, so the reason we decided to have this
day in
podcast,
paradise, me.
That's it. The reason we decided to have this podcast today was to do a wrap-up podcast on the Grand National Roadster Show. So what we're going to do is just review maybe what we got to see, some of the things that we had an opportunity to check out while we were there at the Grand National Roadster Show and what it meant to each and every one of us. So I think the first thing that we're going to do is we'll talk to the guys that started the furthest, and Bobby, we're going to kick it off with you. Bobby did a 3 or 4 day drive across the country to get here.
That's
you there,
right,
Bob.
You got me?
We got you now.
I'm here. You hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Fire away, Bob.
So I drove across the country. I ended up at your place. Remember? Is there a delay, or is this not working?
No, it's just a delay. It's like a 5-second delay.
There's a slight delay.
Oh, it's only a 5-second delay.
Yeah, don't watch. You cannot watch Facebook while you're listening to this. You're going to get all jammed up. Bro.
This is gonna be like a 12-hour podcast.
Yeah, bro. With Bobby with his no microphone. What's going on here, Bobby? What do you on? You're on your computer or what? See, Bob, here's how technology works. When I speak, it cuts off your microphone. I think that, so you'll notice that Bob's in his 80s room. Bob's coming in live from the Commodore 64. He's holding strong. We'll jump in. Tori, you there?
I am here. Yeah.
Tori, how far are you from Bob's house to run him over a microphone?
If I start now, probably about 6 hours.
Okay. So, Bob, you clear?
You got me?
Yes. Give us the rundown, Bob, on your trip across country, what it took to get to the Grand National Roadster Show for you.
Well, the short story is, so I left Saturday, stayed in West Virginia, 5 hours away. Then I drove to Oklahoma City. Everything on my screen. This is the worst.
So Bob's going straight 80s. Bob's going 80s.
I can't even talk because it feels so unnatural because I can't. Nobody.
We're just waiting on you, Bob. We're just waiting on Roger. Do you copy? Over. All right. Tori,
Dude, I think they can communicate with the Mars rover faster than what this is doing.
Well, we got something going. I think Bob's warming up a bean burrito in his microwave downstairs, just throwing off the signal. Tori, how's your latency on my end?
Well, I'm happy to tell you about my travel.
Prepared. I got a beer and everything. I was all ready to go.
Maybe just sit back and enjoy a beer.
So
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll chime in. I've actually got some cool travel stories. I'll tell you about my little experience going to. So I obviously flew Southwest because I work for Southwest and it's free, so that's always nice. So I woke up at 3:00 in the morning, made my way to Pittsburgh. It was -18 when I left. Like I screenshotted it on my phone. -18. Got on the plane. I flew to Vegas, had a changeover there, and then went from Vegas to Ontario because Bob was going to pick me up there in Ontario. What was cool is, and I'm fixing to tie this all together, guys. I'm sitting behind this. There was two guys, and like the whole flight, I heard them talking cars. They were talking about different projects and cars that had sold and everything else. It's like, oh, these have got to be car guys going to the Grand National Roadster Show. So like when you land and everyone does what they do, they people get up and they go absolutely nowhere. So we're just waiting for our luggage out of the bins or whatever. And I was like, you guys going to the Grand National Roadster Show? And they're like, yeah, we are. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, I'm going to be part of the Volkswagen display there. I was like, I've got a car that's going to be on display called Bad Temper 2. I'm literally going to go pick the car up right now. And the one guy's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm into Volkswagens myself. And I'm a hot rod guy. I was like, oh, that's cool. And his name was Ron Hensley. And he's like, we were talking, are you on Instagram at all? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm, VDubber for life. He's like, I already follow you. I was like, that's crazy. You're kidding me. And he's like, no. And so I was telling him I'm into the 80s Volkswagen thing. And, we're trying to bring the scene back. And he's like, oh, that's so cool. He's like, there's a really good Facebook page you guys should follow. It's the custom VWs of the 80s and 90s. I was like, that's my friend Bob Daniels that runs it. That's literally who's going to be picking me up here at the Ontario airport, and then we're going straight to go get my car. So it was just like this incredibly weird coincidence that we both happen to be sitting, number one, we're on the same flight. Number two, we're sitting right in front of each other. And he knew he was a huge fan of Let's Talk Dubs, and he also knew Bob. So I was like, that's really cool. And that kind of set the tone for the entire weekend, because the entire weekend was nothing but crazy coincidences the entire time. And we'll get more into those, obviously as the podcast progresses, but it was a really cool, kind of start to the whole weekend. It just kind of set the tone for how the rest of the weekend was going to go.
Well,
over.
And I think maybe the part that you didn't bring up is not only were these guys, the fans of Let's Talk Dubs, they were on the 80s page, but I think what they told you is like, hey, Mr. Knoxville, we love the new movie that's coming out, and we're really looking forward to seeing Jackass Forever. Is that what they did?
Yeah, and then they asked for an autograph. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I get that everywhere I go. The whole Johnny Knoxville thing. Yeah.
And so George came down. George was one of the last ones to I don't want to say the last one. George was called on a short list of backup cars, and George was able to get his 67 the show. George, if you're George looks like he's a little frozen on camera, so I'm not really sure. I think he might be borrowing his signal from somebody else. But George, can you get your own internet signal? Or you borrowed it from the neighbors. You good, George? You good? George came down from
I borrowed it from the official CIA surveillance van parked outside.
He ran a cable through the tailpipe. So George came down from Sacramento. If you guys might not know George, but George is kind of a big deal, right? See this magazine right here? Let me show you George, right? So George's cherry's officially been popped, right? This is your first feature, George?
That's correct, sir.
That's your first feature. And I mean, I don't want to take all the credit for George's cars, but I pretty much gave him all the ideas and stuff. I mean, George is pretty flat when it comes to style and all that stuff, but I kind of took him under my wing and I said, George, this would look really legit. How about this fiberglass hood? How about some bass boat? So George, congratulations on actually getting your car into the Roadster show. It's kind of a big deal. How did you feel when you got called in on the short list?
It's just if you want the truth, I'll keep it short, man. I was pretty hammered. I was at a King versus Lakers game.
Surprise.
And my phone rang, saw a 626 number. I was like, who the hell is this? Ran to the bathroom. I had to go anyways, and heard the voicemail, and it was on and cracking from there. The rest was a blur, about a 3-week blur, just straight up thrashing on the car. I had the car blown apart for new ignition, new fuel system, all kinds of madness going on. So it was definitely challenging, extremely exhausting, but hey, I got there, so that's all that matters. I wasn't going to miss it for the world.
No, listen, I'm stoked that you were there. I obviously was not there for cars that I built, but I was there for cars that I owned. Nonetheless, I was there. I was pretty stoked to be there. I was anticipating, what was going to happen with the whole California COVID restrictions and all that. And we got there, and it was really was pretty easy to get in. It's a bummer that some people decided not to show up because of the whole COVID theater. But once you got in, it was super relaxed. It was super laid back. I know that when Bobby D showed up at my house, he had enlisted me to get his carpet. And so me being the flooring biz, I was like, let me get your carpet for you, and we'll make that happen. So Bobby D drives all the way across country. We're 2 days, T-minus 2 days down to go to the show. And then I just said, oh, we need carpet. So we got carpet last minute, just before he left. Bob and I hung around for a couple days together. The steering wheel, as you know, for the Future Shock had come in.
Your carpet guy alone was worth the trip.
What's that?
Your carpet guy alone was worth the trip.
Oh yeah, 100%. So he got to meet. If you guys ever listen to any other podcast, there's one called Mobbed Up in Vegas, and it's about the history of the mob in Vegas. There's a guy named Saul Saig that we got the carpet from, and he's mentioned in there a couple times with a backdoor deal with one of the senators that used to be House Minority Leader. So at any rate, we just kind of. Bob and I kind of kicked it over here for a day, and then we got Bob VIP'd. I think he got the penthouse suite at the Orleans. Shout out to my boy Renee for hooking it up. Really giving Bob the royal treatment. I mean, he rolls into town, gets a VIP suite at the top of the Orleans. How was that suite for you, Bob?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, how much better could it possibly be?
right? The
Free.
Orleans Hotel and Casino. You don't even need to buy cigarettes. By the time you get from the lobby to your room, you're covered in nicotine. So we bagged it all together. My buddy Brent Miller, who's not on the podcast, but he's a podcast listener. My buddy Brent came on, and he came to the house a day before Bobby showed up. He helped me kind of patch my trailer together, and then I loaded up Future Shock in the chop top, and we both rolled down there. So it was kind of cool. We get there, we're in line, and there's a good amount of people in line.
Before you get going, I'll tell you my backstory now that we're kind of working.
Oh yeah, go ahead, jump on in.
So mine goes back. My story goes back 2 years ago when Kevin Doyle reached out to me.
Yeah.
And so Kevin reached out to me because I put on that thing at Prado, and he was wanting to get some contacts for some of the cars I had at Prado. Tori, if you keep laughing, I can't do this.
just jump right in.
Just roll with it, Bobby. Roll with it, Bobby D.
I'm sorry.
All right, so then he called me, and then I got out there. I got out there 2 weeks ago. So go ahead, Bill.
Bob. So let's be clear. Bob really had a big hand in getting this put together. It was there was a lot of work behind the scenes, and let's definitely give Bob a little bit of credit for being involved so much with getting that, being a critical person to get involved and shaking up a lot of those 80s cars and getting it back. So good deal, Bob. Thanks for doing all the work that you did. I know that at the cake cutting ceremony, and George thought they were serving steak, but apparently all it was cake. So, but we had the cake ceremony. They gave a mention to Bobby D for all his hard work and putting it on, so we appreciate you. It was definitely a lot of cool cars. A lot of cool cars over there. So the day we roll up to the show in the parking lot, it's kind of cool because one of the fun things about going to these shows all the time is the parking lot's actually part of a show in and of itself. And the cool part was when we got there, the first car that was there was Suicidal Tendencies. And then then Pink Lady was in line. And then, who else do you remember that was in line Bob, when we rolled up in there?
Frenchie was there. Reggie Tibbetts was there.
Reggie Tibbetts, Pro Comp Sanrail, shout out to my man.
Yes, the Berg car was there. That was a hell of a thing to see.
The Burglar was there, yeah. But there was a little bit of that pre-show show car atmosphere, and the interesting part is it was like rolling was 4 to 6, and then we got in line. And probably at the time we got in line was about 2 o'clock. We got a little bit early. Maybe we're going to drop a car off, and we're going to drop off a car and then go get something to eat. Long story short, we end up, just walking around the parking lot. And as you're there, kind of like the same as you are in Pomona, as you're walking around the parking lot, checking things out, more cars show up. So you just bounce from one guy to the next and tell all kinds of stories and talk to all kinds of people. And I got a chance to meet Keith Dean, who we did a podcast with, and that's in the bag. That's in the can, as they say, in the big time business. And that's going to be coming out here soon. We saw that Dave Conklin's listening, and Dave Conklin, he'll be coming up on the podcast soon, so we're going to be tracking him down. But it was it was an interesting experience to meet all those people coming in. And then we go to roll in, and that was, me with my 40-foot enclosed trailer was kind of a little bit of an ordeal to get the thing pulled in and parked. Bobby got unloaded. We got the carpet down. We had to cut it. If you saw on Alex's page on Flatform Media, he had a little image there that he thought was pretty funny about some dudes, some white boys cutting carpet. So he was having a good time with that. So he was pretty proud. What does he say? 2 Latinos watching 3 white boys working, and so we had all that action going on. So it was a good time getting set up. I mean, I think the whole weekend that we were there. So I ended up renting a house. And renting the house was something where, I thought my wife was going to come down. She said, well, I'm not really going to come down if you're going to be at a car show all day. So all of a sudden I had this house. My buddy Brent was coming down with me. And then when George gives me the call, I said, George, let's head down there. You can get a room over there. George comes on in, and then Tori's like, "Yo, man, you got a couch I can sleep on." So it was like, really, was like bachelor pad for the next. Who's got their phone on the table vibrating? You go, you could get. Who's getting talked to right now? So,
Not me.
So
I'm a professional. Mine's on silent.
Hey, you assume that's a phone, bro. Come on.
yes, you're beeping. Sorry about that, bro. I totally forgot. Sacktown, you guys still roll with beepers. I got you, player. I got you. So we end up. We have this room, and this room that we've got is like full on setup. This house, full on setup, nice driveway, good space, a few bed bugs, no big deal. Left the guy review today about his bed bugs, about his pets that were no charge, but I got the house, and it was pretty legit. I mean, for the entire week we were there, George, I think we got up, and yeah, you're exactly right. Rick Meredith says animal house. You know what I mean? So we got guys laughing up in here at us. But I mean, we would leave the house. We get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock. We're getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, bro. You see what's going on over here, dude? It's out of control. They're wonderful. Hands free, bro.
Hands free, baby.
So, George, what did you think? What did you think about the initial getting set up for the show? I mean, I know you were super excited to be there. So, what is your take on some of the cars that you saw, and maybe what was some of your favorite cars that you got to see out there?
Well, I rolled in a little late. I came in around 5 p.m. And as I pull around into the parking lot, I see this just a long line of just, as you can imagine, just legendary VWs. And they're all in line. There's two lines, there's trailers, and there's some beautiful cars just standing there idling, waiting to get in. As I go down and park the trailer, shout out to my boy, Bobby Robello, for the trailer love, man. I couldn't have done it without you, brother. Thank you. As I unload the car, there's a series of trailers around me, and basically you're just wondering what car is going to pop out of what trailer, what cool car is going to pop out of what trailer. And it was pretty awesome experience just to see that. And got in line, and they told us, come on in. And I didn't have to wait very long. I waited about 20 minutes and then got in. And obviously going into the building was just phenomenal. It was just out of this world.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool cars. As far as you guys, what's some of the more, any cars that you guys saw that you were surprised about, that you thought maybe you were surprised either how good or bad condition that they were in? Anybody?
I would say I was surprised that Pink Lady held up as well as it did, because that car was built, I believe, in the 80s. And that can't be an easy car to transport, because, I mean, I'm sure it's got a lot of Bondo fiberglass, whatever. So usually old customs like that you see in person that haven't been seen in so long, they start to show their age, or they're cracking, or, there's little chips here and there. And that's not exactly a car that you can just touch up with paint. It's in a little can. I mean, that's like a full custom, candy, metal flake, whatever. And that car displays really well to this day. I was really, really surprised. So I would say I was surprised at how good Pink Lady still looked.
I'd have to agree with you.
Clear something up about that car. You mentioned fiberglass. I believe that car is all steel.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that. It's still amazing, but wow. There's got to be a ton of Bondo in it, though. I mean, that's just how they did them back then,
Well, Burnt's known as like a serious metal worker, so I think he maybe did a bunch of metal work on that car. But notwithstanding that was a car for me that I was also quite impressed with. What I think about that car in particular is Bad Raz. Not Bad Raz. Bad Raz. That car in particular. Pink Lady, that car, what's funny is it was built before its time, so I think when it came out, nobody got it. I didn't get it. I looked at it and I thought, dude, who is the Mexican dude driving this car? Meanwhile, it's some Swedish dude. It's a Swedish guy who's a metal worker on this car. And I was just kind of like, I didn't get it, right? None of it made sense to me, but I think it was, I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but it was so bad it was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Just tacky over the top, but then you see it in person, you kind of get it, you know.
Let's figure out what Ecuador thinks about that. George? Don't freeze up, baby.
It's my first time seeing. It was my first time seeing the car. Ecuador. That's way down south, but yeah, I love the car, man. Looking at it, every time I looked at it, I saw something new, some new detail, and I'm still trying to figure out what the little statue thing inside of it was. But I was really digging the steering wheel for sure. The steering wheel was bad in Pink Lady. I really loved it.
You like the little chain, the 10-inch chain steering wheel?
It was like a circle, but yeah, it was along the chain theme. It was just a steel circle. I thought it was really cool.
And then George, you had the pleasure. I mean, you're a podcast listener, right? You enjoy the podcast quite a bit.
Sure.
You got to kind of see the wizard behind the curtain when you were fortunate enough to witness, as I got the call that Clyde Berg was down and he was ready to go for the podcast. What'd you think? What'd you think about being behind the scenes and getting to see how the podcast comes together?
It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool experience. There's a whole lot more that goes into it than what we all hear, if you will. But it was definitely cool to see the transition of someone being just nervous as hell. And slowly they transition, just being totally comfortable in there within themselves, and just just having a good chat with an old friend. It's pretty cool to see that develop right in front of your eyes.
For sure, it's interesting because
a lot smoother than tonight.
Well, it's one of those things that if you listen to some of the early podcasts, when I'm actually hosting some of the early podcasts, I'm actually getting nervous myself in the beginning, and then I kind of calm down after about 5 or 10 minutes. But it's unique to see other people that are, that are doing that. They go through the same process. They get a little bit nervous at the beginning, and then within 5 or 10 minutes, it ends up just being a couple of guys having a conversation. And I'll tell you, I got a phone call today about. I got a phone call today from one of the other Berg individuals, and they said it was from a mutual friend. He said, "Yeah, talk to so and so," and he says he's looking forward to coming on the podcast. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's going to be. I got another Berg scheduled. Well, not scheduled yet, but looking to come on. And like Justin says, that was. I don't listen back to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of times if I listen to them, I find things in them that I didn't hear before, because as I'm recording the podcast and doing it, I'm really kind of in the moment and planning my next question or seeing what's going on with that. And and then I actually went back and started listening to Clyde's podcast again. And I really, by the time I was done with it, I really enjoyed it. There was a good balance, and not to, give me my own opinion on my own podcast, but there was a good balance between history, of the family, what it was like to work there, and then some of his, some of his particular background and some of his expertise on some of the heads. So I really enjoyed that. Did you guys all get a chance to listen to that podcast yet? We know Bobby doesn't listen.
I did. Yeah, I listened to it. I think it was that Monday maybe or something. It was, and I think I told you this, as soon as I heard it, easily top 5 of all the podcasts you've done.
Yeah, George
easily top 5.
George voted it his number 1 podcast that he listened to. So Bob's too busy moderating the 40,000 people that are on the 80s page, kicking people out and stuff like that. So George, did you get a chance? We got some latency. How is your speed so fast, Tori? And then Bob's is back there a little bit.
It's probably because I'm on Ethernet. I'm not wireless. I'm Ethernet. Mine's hardwired in because of the show that I used to do with Jay Ryan.
Bobby D, you hardwired in or what?
No, I'm not hardwired in.
Oh, okay. Freestyle, hands free, baby, hands free. So, talking about some of the cars over there, when I spoke with Ket, go ahead. Were you saying something, Bob?
You asked about the cars. I think the most important thing to say about that room is if you walk around, I think they said there was 104. I don't think there was one car that you can say shouldn't really have been there. Every single car in that room was deserving of being in there. There wasn't one car you said, oh, well, how did this get in here?
Yeah, I think they did a good cross section of the hobby. One thing someone did point out to me is they said there was not any stock convertibles there. I mean, other than the Big Bug, which really covers it because it's kind of freakishly large and it's a full blown convertible. Other than that, there was not a. I don't think there was a street convertible. I'm trying to think. I'm going back to look at the pictures, but
and Bob had a really good suggestion the first time that we walked through. He actually said they should have had just a stock white Beetle next to Huge Bug to show the scale, which I thought was brilliant. Put it where Ray Mejia's, Raspberry Gia was at, so you could actually have a bookend and see exactly all the scale and work that went into building the Huge Bug, because you've got a stock white convertible here. I thought that was actually pretty brilliant of him to suggest that. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, I had. I put
they might have, because Ray was a late ad, but there might have been a bug there in its spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I put a video of that on my Instagram of the Bug driving across, where you really got a real good perspective when you saw it roll across the block there. It was, you could really tell how big that car was when you saw it going across. Here, let me kick it into the old screen here. Hold on, bro. Let's get some audio off here. We'll do that action right there. But when you see that Bug going across there, and you see how big that dude is. I mean, it's gigantic. And really the way they had it parked, it was hard to tell how big it was. You really had to double take to look at it. But when you get this side by side up here, I mean, it's obvious how huge that thing is compared to the other Bugs. But that's one of the other things. Another car that maybe didn't get the love it should have is that Berlin Buick. What was your guys' take on the Berlin Buick?
Oh, I think you got a lot of love, to be honest with you.
I mean, there at the Roadster show, it does. I don't know if he gets that same kind of attention or appreciation when he's at a VW show.
Oh no, I don't. That I agree with.
George, what was your favorite car there at the show?
I thought the car was my favorite car. Amongst many, the one that just I kept being drawn to for whatever reason, I don't know, but I just love the car completely, was the Davy and Goliath car. Such a cool retro homage. Great magnesium wheels, super clean car. I really love that car. That's my favorite.
The David and Goliath car is the one that did it for you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff there. I can tell you one of the cars that kind of I got a little thrown on was the ZZ Top car. What was your guys' take on that?
I wish it had been taken better care of over the years. I mean, it was really, really cool to see. Don't get me wrong, but when you see a car like that in your mind, it still looks as good as it did in the magazine, especially because the car has not been seen in public for so long. And no disrespect to Billy Gibbons, but you can tell the car has just been neglected. And you got paint cracking on the hood and whatever. I mean, it was still cool to see it. Don't get me wrong, but I was a little, I don't know, I will say I was much more blown away by seeing Future Shock and your chop rod in person than Pearl Necklace. And I honestly thought it might be the other way around. But the Future Shock blew me away in person. That car, and granted, both had been neglected at some point in their life, but Future Shock cleaned up a hell of a lot better than Pearl Necklace did. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Pearl Necklace had any cleaning up. I think they rolled it out of a garage and rolled it into this one. I think that car just needed a little bit of love, but you're right. It was sort of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think looking at it, I think looking at that car, what did it? What kind of sent me a little sideways was the headlights, and you don't see the headlights till you look at it head on, and is kind of funky, bro. I'm not gonna lie; those headlights are yikes. So, but what you guys didn't know is while the rest of you guys were just doing whatever you're doing, which was not being the international podcast star that I am, podcast star and host. While you guys had left, because I was doing the long interview with Frenchie and Dino, which is going to be coming out. When I did that, oh boy, Billy Gibbons had come over with his entourage and was in there getting pictures with the car, and they needed a Sharpie, and I had a Sharpie, so I said, "You can get the Sharpie after you sign my placard." And so I had everybody take that special tin that they gave us, and I made everybody and I made them all sign it. So that was pretty fortunate, pretty cool little get over there. So I really dug that. You know how lucky I am. You know.
So my signature's on it too, so you're real lucky.
Well, I mean, look, bro, look,
Only if you signed it, Lil Pitt. Only if you signed it, Lil Pitt.
That's how you gotta sign a little pit. That's right.
Lil Pitt.
That's it. So I mean, other than that, there was a ton of cars there. I'm just trying to think of some of my, oddly enough, two Type 34 Carmageddons. There was the Carmageddon guys, which is Lance and Marty, and I had an opportunity to do a podcast with both of those guys, and it was a good podcast. I really enjoyed talking to those guys about that Type 34, and then I had that Type 34 shell that was on the side of my house, and I thought, man, I may just take this Type 34 and build a drag car out of it. And then little do you know, tomorrow I'm going to pick up a drag car. So it's gonna be interesting to see me in a drag car. But hey, what are you gonna do? You get inspiration when you go to these shows, and and I was inspired by seeing the Type 34 drag car. Any cars that you guys saw? I know you saw the David and Goliath car. Bob, what car really stood out to you that was there?
I would have to say Suicidal Tendencies, and I'm not a Type 3 guy.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing was because for me, just seeing it in the magazines, you assume that it's pink and just pink, like solid pink, because that's the way it looked in the magazines. But when you see it in person and you see that candy pearl pink, and then it rolled down the hill, like you mentioned seeing that car in the staging lanes.
Yeah.
Man, that thing it looked awesome. And as dated as it is, man, I rock that thing. I think it was awesome. And I think Paige was a hell of a nice guy too. And that also led us to, meet Kid Dean and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Suicidal Tendencies was, what year was the magazine? Was that Tori, our resident magazine?
I think it was 88. I'm pretty sure it was 88 Hot BWs.
So
I think it's January '88 because that cover is the same issue that has Aaron Kean's Scout car, the same car as mine. And I think it's January '88.
Yeah. I was surprised by the quality of the car. It was really a cool build. There's a couple things I never noticed on it. Anything you didn't notice about it, Tori?
No, because I had been actually talking to him about possibly buying the car. And so I had a pretty solid understanding of the car, and I'd looked it over, not in person, obviously, but gone through all the pictures, and it literally was completely unchanged from, the day he stopped showing it, which I believe was in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe. He told me, he's like, I drove it in the garage. I threw some moving blankets over it, and that was it. Every couple years, I'll pull it out in the driveway, I'll wash it, put it back in. But I do have to say, as far as time capsule cars that are completely untouched from the 80s, I don't think there's anything out there that touches Suicidal Tendencies. I mean, the car it's stunning. And like Bob said, the thing that got me about it is, I'm starting to hear about the cars. This was months ago. I'm starting to hear about the cars that are going to be on display, right? And I'm like, wow, there's like a lot of pink that's going to be there. A lot of pink, a lot of raspberry. But then you get there and all of these cars are different colors. Like, Future Shock is more of like a purplish pink. Then you've got, Stanley's car, that's raspberry, and then you've got Page's Suicidal Tendencies, and that car is the most wicked shade of like a candy pink with pearl in it, coupled with the silver and the pinstripes. I mean, it was just, that car is insane. I mean, and I really do think that for the majority of people that went there to see 80s cars, that it was Suicidal Tendencies that completely stole the show. Not to take anything away from any of the other cars that were there that are 80s cars, 90s cars, whatever, but like that car made such an impression on people in the Southern California show days that when they saw it again here and it looked exactly the same and was completely original from the 80s, I think it threw a lot of people for a loop. They're like, my God, this thing is unreal. And I have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the and Paul Iozio asks, was the Kid Dean Square there? Well, Paul, it's in England now, so let's get up on the game, bro. Come on, Paul Iozio. Iozio's a guy I called for.
The Arrington Holmes cars in Scotland, and it found its way there, so that's not an excuse.
You got to knuckle up, and that reminds me that's Russell Ritchie. So I went ahead and did a podcast with him, and that was he had brought that car, and he owned the recreation of Pepto, but he also has the restored version of the Arrington Holmes car, and I think if that car is in Scotland when I get there, I'm doing a burnout in that car. I don't even care. I don't care, bro. It's gonna go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And the Lightning Bug 1 is his too, right? The gasser, yes. I think, is also Russell Ritchie's.
Well. Yeah, and so we got I got Russell Ritchie, Paul. So don't try to hide from the podcast. We're getting Paul Iozio on the podcast. So, but there was that car I really liked. That the crazy part about the '63, and I'm sure there was probably cow lookers that were before that '63, but that one being on the cover of the magazine makes it super iconic, right? So I'm sure somebody gets upset when they see that thing as like that's the cow look car. But that's a rad car, and the story on it's pretty awesome. And we get it on Let's Talk Dubs podcast coming up in the next couple of weeks, guys. I've got so many podcasts backlogged for you guys. It is game over. You guys are going to be spinning for days. I was half tempted to release 2 a week. I've got a few in the can, but I don't want to run out and get back to work all of a sudden. This allows me a time to be a little bit lazy. But George, you're fat. George representing the Fast Four cartel in Sacramento. What do you think, George, about some of the street cars that were there? Who did you see? I know that you were looking to do some kind of call outs and stuff, and I was thinking it was going to be, you were going to be calling out some of the guys in DKP or DKK. Who exactly are you going to be calling out, George, for the Fast Four cartel runs?
I think due to the nature of due to the nature of the geographic nature of the Fast Four cartel, I think I might stick to my NorCal homies. So for now, until the SoCal boys come up and play, I think I'm gonna follow my buddy Patrick Friel's advice and get that car on the track and so maybe Patrick Friel will teach me a thing or 10 about faster than 10 for once.
Well, I heard you get.
That's all I got.
I heard you got a little called out by some of the guys from who is it? Real Street. Real Street called you out, and I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to maybe go out there and see what you can do. I'm all about seeing you try to be somebody. My dad, when I was a kid, said, "What do you mess with these stupid Volkswagens? Go buy a Cadillac and be somebody." And George, I don't think you should get it. I don't think you should have to get a Cadillac. I really think that you should. I think you're going to be able to do it on your own, and I'm proud of you, even though you've accomplished nothing so far. But I mean, really, I'm looking to see you get that car out there on the track. I want to see it. I want to see you do big things. And there's going to be a red drag bug hunting you down. It might be the Let's Talk Dubs drag bug. We don't know because I'm picking up a car tomorrow. So I'll do a little live stream on the car that I'm getting, snatching up a drag car because I want to come play on the drag strip. And, I'm going to get a little bit of knowledge about what's going down with the Fast Four Cartel. I'm going to hit as many races as I can, whether it's Fast Four Cartel. I think its maiden voyage is going to be down in shout out to Steve Hull down there at the Bug-A-Rama. He's doing April 3rd in Phoenix. So I'm going to have to go down there, knuckle up, and see if we can get going. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Who wants some? I noticed Mr. McCall looks a little quiet. Oh, you guys got stage fright? What's going on here?
I'm getting a ton of feedback on my.
I'm getting feedback on my end too. Yeah, I can hear you talking whenever you're like after you talk. You got a little bit of an echo going on.
You're hearing double microphones.
Double the bill is what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing double callouts from Bill T and his drag bug.
I'll call her.
So you know what?
Go ahead.
Well, you know what? I will. I think I want to preserve whatever little ponies I got left in that bucket of mine and wait for the Let's Talk Dubs official drag car.
But do you think your first time out you want to get beat?
Yeah.
Bro, maybe you didn't hear what I said. Drag bug. It ain't a show car, dude. She ain't pretty. She ain't for making friends. She's for settling scores. That's what she's for.
Well, we have to throw a little skin in the game and see what both hoopties can do.
Listen, I'm working on. I'm honestly going to look into. This is not a promise, but this is a definite maybe. And what I'm going to definite maybe do is try to talk to the guys. I'm going to try to see if I can't score a some sort of 8th mile area here during the Let's Talk Dubs One Crazy Weekend. And see if I can't maybe get a little 8th mile section set up here in Vegas and see what we could do. Just run what you brung, no times, no nothing, and we'll just do a simple bracket ladder. If I don't like your car, I'll slash your tire, and then I'm in the race. But the old 50s kind of stuff we got going on here. So, but Let's Talk Dubs One Crazy Weekend. That's going to be happening in October. Plenty of shows from now to then, and I'm gonna hopefully get out to a Fast Four Cartel action. The Let's Talk Dubs drag bugs. I don't want to jinx it, bro, because I ain't got it in my hands yet. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't for making friends. And there's like you guys just know the happy host Bill T on the podcast, bro. When I get behind the wheel of a car, bro, it's game on. Like I'm taking titles. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like Cool J, dude. Mama said knock you out, and I'm here to knock you out. You got me? You feel me, George?
Hey, man, if I had a title you can take, it would be awesome. But for right now, yeah. So it's all good, though. We'll make it happen. All
right. So I'm looking forward to it. But let's see. He said 8th mile out by the power plant. George has it heads up. Wink. I think Wink's your number one fan, bro. That's right.
That's my homie.
Justin says we're all in trouble now. He knows, bro. I talk some mad trash, dude. Some mad trash, especially when I get a car, dude. Look, you wait till I get my funds right, dude. You wait till I get my money right. That's the red racing. The red drag race car is an automatic. See Dave Conklin chiming in. That's right. Automatics. He knows where it's at. 2-speed, but no, it's a 4-speed. It's a 4-speed car. We'll see. They saw Bull Run, dude. They know, bro. They know Bill T straight up, dude. I get in the game. So I'm just sharing the comments. Are you guys seeing the comments on your screens as I'm putting them up?
Yeah, they're popping up. Yeah.
Right.
I saw Stanley Escalanos on here. What up, Stanley? Mr. Bad Raz himself watching. What's up?
Stan the man. Got to chat with Stan.
Stan the
for
man.
A little bit. Stan, a little shout out to Stan. He's got a YouTube channel. You guys check it out. Bad Raz on YouTube. Got some in-depth, deep stuff for old boy. And then, man, bro, I think
that's another car that I was kind of surprised about. Because when I talked to Stanley a couple years ago, trying to get him to come to Prado, I was thinking that car was a little worse for wear. Then that car showed up, and I'm like, man, that thing is really clean still. So, yes, shout out to Stanley, because that car has really held up over time. It looks really good.
No, it does, man. I mean, that guy's held on to that car, and I don't know if I've had any. Well, I've had my red and black bus for quite a while, but I'm not as careful with my stuff. And interestingly enough, right, the show car experience for me is different because I'm not really a show car guy. Like I when I built my bus, I showed
I've been in your garage.
That's not fun. That's not funny, bro. So he's been in my garage.
He's finna cut camera 6.
Listen. It's it is what it is. I like to drive them, and Jeff, for sure, I'll let you know when I'm coming up to a Fast 4 event, bro. I'm down like nobody's business. Even if I got to stop by George's house and bring him, because I know he likes to hold up the show car part over at Fast 4 Cartel. But when I show up, when George and Bill are back together again, you could take this to the bank. George is getting on the track, and we're going to knuckle up, and we're going to take it to the lights. Right, George?
Damn. All right. Let's do it.
First race against a drum brake front drag car, dude. It's on, bro.
Let's do it.
You know, it almost reminds me, the car that I'm picking up reminds me of the Pink's drag car. Do you remember the Pink's drag car?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
So on Pink's, where the drag car ran a Honda, and I don't want to talk about import racing because one of these 4 kids on the podcast, and I'm not saying who, but one of these 4 kids used to be in racing, like imports, real big time. And I'm not saying who it is or calling them out, but listen, it's one of those things where we got to get this together, bro. So the red carbine reminds me of the Pink's drag bug, and if you look at the second time they raced the Pink drag bug, the Pink's drag bug that they were running, if you look at the front fenders, it's got T Brothers tile stickers on the front. Supporter, that's right. Do your best. Support the scene.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
They used to film a lot of those episodes in Orlando when I lived there at Orlando Speed World, which is a quarter-mile track in Bithlo, Florida.
Does anybody know where was that? Was that at Carlsbad where they did the Pinks one? Was it at Carlsbad or was it in Arizona? I think they might have. I think they might have raced down in Arizona. At any rate, the red car's looking for George, so we're gonna be I'm hunting down Mr. McCowluck, dude. So this is what. Unfortunately, we're friends. As soon as I got a drag car, it's game on, and I gotta look for some worthy competition. And so, I mean, he's my boy, but like brothers, they gotta tussle a little bit. So that's what I got going on in my world. But overall, the Roadster show was legit. What'd you guys think about the Ken Diggett car? Is that the first time you guys seen him?
Yes, I hated the wheels on the Hebmuller.
Okay.
Then you hated the wheels on the bus because they're the same.
I didn't even get to the bus because I looked at the Heb and I looked at the wheels and I kept walking. And then I went on to the German folks' cars, which they actually know how to build cars and they have nice wheels. So I just kept not my bag. But I know he built it for a customer, so I'm sure it was probably not his first choice for wheels. But he's got to put the wheels that the guy who's writing the check, wants on there.
Well,
but no, wasn't feeling it. Especially when you got Elliott Vancel's, and then you've got Tony's black one, which was right behind my car.
Okay.
I mean, just
okay, but let's real talk right now. Both those cars,
real talk.
Those cars got Fuchs on it, bro. I've seen Fuchs
exactly, but they didn't. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, but I would. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. After driving the automatic, after driving Future Shock.
Yep.
Future Shock. You know what I'm talking about. Hold on. You need me, bro. I'll be hanging out with Future Shock just in the 80s. Boom, 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 boom.
You need to put a chain on that like Flava Flav and walk around with that, dude, at car shows.
Oh, you think so, huh? You think so?
I know so, yes.
I'm gonna lace this up right here.
What's up? What's up? You got that rope?
Mm-hmm. So, at any rate, with
Flava Flav!
With the Hebmuller and the bus. Now, I look at those two things, and what I was saying is after driving Future Shock with the automatic, I'm not going to lie, dude. If I had to pick a Heb, the build quality on that Heb that came from Ken Dig is really top quality build. The wheels, like me personally, I'm not a fan of the wheels. Do I absolutely hate them? I appreciate the fact that they are different wheels. You know what I mean? We know how Dave.
This episode feels. Brought by Ken Diggett Cars.
Right. Listen, I just gotta tell you. A full auto is it's bro. I'll cruise it all day, dude. I'm not even lying, dude. After cruising that, my only issue right now with cruising the notch is those front tires rub a little bit, and
Yeah.
I got to get that handle because
You got to lay off them tacos, son.
listen, you ain't lying, bro. You are not lying, dude. It's a double clutch burrito, extra beans, triple rice, dude. That's what George is trying to feed me all the time, bro. George took me out.
That's why your wheels are rubbing.
Yeah, George. Actually, it's just the left side. I mean, listen, I don't want to get into why the wheels are rubbing. I mean, we gotta, I'll tell you, it for what the heb cost to build. Justin brings up a point on what the heb cost to build. I've seen those cars at the SEMA show. I got to take a look at them up close, and Kindig's build quality is really good. I mean, and I have to give him the props that I think he designs the wheels and all that stuff for that car, and that's what he wants. It's something different, and you guys know how I am. I like different stuff. So those cars, I'd seen them at the SEMA show, and they're super nice build quality. And I tell you, I have a whole different, like when everybody was freaking out about the automatic in the heb, dude. I'm not lying, dude. I'll put an automatic in that thing and mob out, dude. You got to get some subwoofers too. But that's just me, dude.
I'd rock Tony's heb over that one 100%. I don't care if everyone thinks Fuchs are played out. I would rock that car 100% over the Kindig one.
Well,
shout out to Tony. What's up?
When you're overheating and your clutch leg is hurting and I'm over here chilling, dude, at the light, foot on the brake, you're gonna be like, oh dog, can we switch cars? I'll be like, no, dude, no haters in this mobile, dude, no haters. All of a sudden you sound like
you said you hated these wheels. You get to walk home.
I'll take it. I mean, but my favorite car. So let's talk about favorite cars of the show. One of my dream cars was there, and I think his name is Joe Cromier. He's from Canada. Lanny Hussey built the black 68, dude. That car, hands down. I already told you guys this when I was there. The building's on fire, and it's a zombie apocalypse. You got to grab a car that you got to not. You're not taking it to save history or heritage. Like you got to run. You got to run from these guys. You know what I mean? The zombie apocalypse, and you got to have maybe like you got to grab one car of all the cars over there. That black car with the fixie wheels, the fuel-injected turbo motor. That's my ride, bro. That's the one that I save. Out of all the cars at Grand National Roadster Show. Sorry for those guys that are like, history, but what about the history? Like, I ain't playing, dude. I'm taking Joe Cormier's black 68. What about you guys? Building's burning down. You got to grab one car. What car is it?
R2 Zwitter. Casada Zwitter.
Yeah, dude, that car's sick.
Bro, you can no bandwagon, Tory, bro. Pick your own car.
I'm not gonna bandwagon. I'm simply agreeing with his. I'll have my own.
It's a nice.
But
I'm not saying other cars aren't nice. I'm saying when you look at Bill T from Let's Talk Dubs, when you look at me and you look at like I got these gray streaks right here, thinking turbo. Then you look at these eyebrows, you're thinking fuel injection, and then you see my dad bod, and you're like, man. That guy's all about them fixie wheels, dude. Looking good, bro. That's what you guys said, right? So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you look like your car, and I look sporty, like maybe like a sport suit build, like I'm wearing like a sweatsuit or something. You know what I mean? So, what car are you saving, Tori? So we know I picked Joe Cormier's 1968. Bob Daniels picks the Zwitter R2 D2 Zwitter, and Tori, what car?
Gosh, man, you're putting me on the spot because I'm like, I am.
Look, Tori had a chance to get jumped in this weekend. This last weekend, he didn't take it, bro. He did not take it.
Well, here's what's funny. Like, we're walking around or whatever. We were talking about like doing this follow-up show, right? And you're like, bro, you got to pick 5, And I'm like, dude, you look around at all the cars that are there, and it's like that would be like, your house is on fire, pick your 5 favorite kids.
Bro,
there's got to be a Mormon joke in there somewhere. I can't think of it right now.
But
you know what I mean.
I hear you, bro. Well, we're not talking about kids. We're talking about the cars.
I know we got one car. Well, shit, if I can only say one, it's probably gonna be turmoil. I was that blown away.
That's not in their room. Can't pick it.
Yeah, it's not in the room.
No, he didn't specify which room.
Bobby D's correct,
what?
Dude.
It's got to be in the VW room.
I'm sorry, bro.
You put me on the spot, man.
Don't try to go for the most expensive, and then someone's like calling you out on the streets, like, "Yo, man, I heard you didn't take my car. What's up? Meet me on the streets." Dave Coughlin says Art 67. Art 67. Who's Art?
Art Gutierrez. That car's bad. DKP car. It's like that metallic green one. It's like a dark metallic green. Dude, that was a really cool car to see in person because that thing's got mad street cred. That car's been around forever.
Justin Travis had a left field, bro, with the huge bug.
Oh, dude, that's actually a really good answer because if it's zombie apocalypse time, that thing's gonna run over a lot of zombies.
I like Justin knows how to play the game. Maybe I should have had him on the podcast. He knows how to think it out, work it out. Like you're fighting it's a zombie apocalypse. But then again, it's on a Dodge chassis, bro. Stopping a lot for gas. A lot of opportunity for you to get killed doing that. Now,
okay, fine. All right. Final answer.
Let's go, George. I mean, not George. It's Tori, dude. Go ahead, Tori.
So it's super douchey to pick your own car, so I can't pick that car. I already said I tried to pick,
bro. It's America.
No. I tried to pick Buddy Hale's car. You know, I tried to pick the turmoil car that Buddy Hale did. Can't do that because it's not in the building. So I'm gonna settle on Ragberry.
Oh,
because
Ragberry, I like it. What motor? So what motor you got in yourself to run from the zombies, bro? What do we got?
It's big enough. It's a 2-liter with IDAs.
It's big enough.
And I got like 215s bumping in the back, so I got some tunes.
Does it got 215s?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think he's got 15s. Yeah. That thing's it's got
for one
crazy stereo.
Weekend, I gotta add a sound off, bro. I gotta add a sound off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Weekend. And George's gonna show up with his AM radio, dude. George, you getting down with this or what? You bringing up. George's getting picked on tonight.
Yeah.
All right, George. Let's hear it. It's go time, George.
Yes, sir. Speaking of go time, man, I'm hopping straight into. Let's see. I'm hopping onto Folt's dragster, big turbo monster, and I'm out because that thing will drive. No, it'll fly too if you need it to.
They're gonna, bro. You got a zombie got his teeth stuck in your skull, bro, while you're just trying to get your fire suit on to drive that car. Come on, bro. You got to pick something real to get the zombies, bro. Did you not hear the zombie part, bro? Seriously, dude. Come on now.
All right, then, something a little bit more feasible would be, I'm going to shout out to my boy Reggie Tibbetts. I'm going to go with the Reggie Tibbetts
that car can't, bro. As soon as you hit the gas, the paddles go flying off because they're 400 years old. I like Reggie, but the car been around and seen around. You understand what I'm saying?
Bro, that thing will kill some zombies, bro. That thing will kill some zombies.
You know what? You may have a point right now, dude. You may have a point. That's what I'm thinking.
Or the dual engine squareback too. That thing is a zombie killer too.
See, Dave Conklin's got a point, bro. He says the zombies love the bass, though, dude. They'll hunt you down, bro, and bite into your head like an apple, bro.
Well, then, see, I guess Ragberry was a bad choice because it's bringing the bass for sure.
Just drop some Rodney O and Joe Cooley on him, dude, and just hit it.
Yep.
So, I really overall I love the weekend. It was for me it was a little different to be there in a different role at a car show, like a guy displaying preserved history, which was a little different for me. But I really enjoyed how many people got to take a look at that and enjoy it. I really enjoyed seeing Steve and Terry Connect coming down, as well as the Jack Senior and Junior DiGiacomo with the Black Bug. That's also in that Colin Burnham book as well. So it was pretty awesome to be able to see those guys. I did a podcast with those guys. Who did not do a podcast with, bro?
I know, right? Bill, you've got to tell the story though. Like I love the coincidences that happened. You've got to tell the story about when we were at the Chop Rod and the guy with the black car who had that car originally comes over and dude, what are the odds of that?
And just randomly, by the way, we're just standing there and he's like, "Oh
insane.
yeah, that was my car."
Yeah, well,
dude,
what's crazy is we're standing there and there's the feature of my car when it was first featured, when it was obviously somebody else's car being featured in Hot VWs. And the first issue that I saw it in was the how to customize your Volkswagen. And in that particular feature, it's a feature called Valley Boys. And in the Valley Boys feature, I'm going to get to the picture and pan it over. So the dope part was it gets, let's see here, so you guys can see. Look at that, bingo bango, dude. So the
boom,
the black convertible that was there was snap, bad action for you here right there. And I'm sitting there, I'm walking up to the car and I'm talking to somebody else, and I see this guy and he's pointing, he's talking to the car, And I said, he's like, yeah, that was my car. I said, the black car was yours? Oh, yeah, I was there that day. We got him featured and we got talking. And I said, so you know Jim Moto? He's like, no, I know Scott. So interestingly enough, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't gone back to read the article, but I think it may have been Scott's car when it got featured in the magazine then. I'm not sure if it was Scott's car or if it was. I'll have to look at the.
Well, I know
again.
I know that there was very little mention of Scott Gildner in that article, as I recall, but they talked more about Scott with the black one because he obviously had his hand in building that car too, which weird. So I don't remember if Jim Motto already owned the car when it was in the Valley Boys spread or not. I mean, I guess we could check and see, but like I do remember Scott Gildner's name being mentioned way more in the write-up about the black car. But I mean, for years we've been like, I wish we could find, Bob and I talk all the time on the phone, and Bob and I are always like, I wish we could find the guy that owned this car. I wish we knew what happened to this car. And I mean, obviously they all ended up in Japan, and this one the same way. And he told this really, really cool story about being at this VW show and this Japanese guy approaching him and saying, hey, I want to buy your car. And he's like, no, it's not for sale. And then he ended up, if you remember the story, like he ended up winning the show. And then they came back and we were both like, oh, price went up probably. He's like, yeah, he said. And he said he opened up this like silver attaché case or whatever. And it was like just cash, rubber band stacks.
Yeah, we talked about that. And he said that, yeah, I sold that car for $18,000 that day, which was a grip of money for a 80s build show car in the 80s, right? In like 89 or 90 or something like that is when they ended up selling it. And interestingly enough, as we're talking to him, he's like, yeah, I have all the pictures for this for my car, all the build pictures in my truck right now, so let's see here. Yeah.
And the cool part about that was, he had his wife go run and get him. That guy and I went outside and got a beer. And he's like, I think I have pictures of Shannon Ray with that car. I was like, Shannon Ray's like right there. She's like signing posters right now. And so he ended up finding those pictures. His wife got him out of the car, in the parking lot, came back. And then there's a picture that Shannon Ray posted of her with this guy, and this picture that he just randomly happened to bring and didn't even bother to bring in the building. They were just randomly in his car. And it's a picture that Shannon Ray had never even remembered taking back in the 80s. I mean, it's just like, what are the odds that...
The funny part about that whole thing is his wife just posted those pictures today. And then Aaron Kean, he posted up and commented with pictures because his car was there that same day.
Right, yeah, because he let me look at the pictures when his wife had got him out, and there's a picture of Aaron Kean's car in one of those lineups. There was like 6 cars or 7 cars out in a grassy field, and Aaron's car was in there. I'm just like, what are the odds? Like, that car's right there. This car's right there. That girl is right there signing posters. I mean, it was weird. Yeah, it was so crazy how all these planets aligned. It was nuts.
A pretty reminiscent time for a lot of those people, especially for the people from the V-Dubs
there it is.
Car Club and all that stuff. So it was pretty.
Yep.
It was pretty wild to be able to see all those people, and they really everybody just really enjoyed, being there and seeing all these cars, and it was crazy because all these people were having like these reunions. I'm digging them boots, bro. Those leather boots. I'm liking, and that's a dope car. And the pictures that I saw, the build pictures, the question was always like, is that a convertible? And it's actually a Carson top on that car, So
yeah, I think it's like a metal top with like it's got exactly. And I guess Scott Gildner went on to be like the Carson top guy. Like he's the go-to guy for Carson tops, like even with like, V8 cars or whatever.
And if I'm not mistaken, is this Scott's car here on this cover of these?
No, that's the Randy stuff convertible that's for sale on Old Bug right now. The one that was famous for being on the same month of Hot VWs and VW Trends at the same time.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's the car. And not to hijack, but Bob, you were there in front of my car when there was another cool moment with Sean, the guy who used to own your car. Do you remember that story?
Oh, well, I knew he was going to be there. What?
No, I'm talking about his friend that he hadn't seen in like 30 years. And they just I'll tell the I'll tell the story real quick. It's not a big deal. So we're standing next to Bad Temper 2, and we're just kind of BS, and it's cool to like I caught you doing this too, Bill. Like you kind of like just wander over your car and hang out for a little bit in hopes of getting a story, and you obviously did with the owner of that black chop, which was awesome. So I'm hanging out with Bad Temper or whatever, and Sean had come over, and we were all kind of talking about like, cars that were built in the valley, and I think I can't remember the order that this happened. Either the guy was already there or Sean rolled up as I was talking to the guy, but someone remembered Bad Temper from back in the day, and they were like, "Oh my God, this car was amazing." I remember this thing street racing back in the day, and we were talking about it being at Stadium Way and Dodger Stadium. And then like someone turned around, and I think his name is Sean, and he was there with his brother, and he was like, Sean, is that you? And dude, like one of the guys started crying. Like I hadn't seen each other in 30 years. And then here they are like in front of this car, reminiscing. And it was an incredibly cool moment. And I can't help but think that this happened a lot of times throughout that building, just because people are around these cars that they hadn't been around in forever. And for whatever reason, they all happened to come to this show. And I talked to people that had been out of the Volkswagen scene for 20, 30 years, and they're like, yeah, I heard that this display was going to be going on. I just wanted to come up here. And I had no idea that I would see cars that I haven't seen since I was a teenager, or, I didn't even know if they were still around. And here it is. It was just such an incredibly cool weekend for moments like that. That alone was worth the trip for me.
Yeah, for sure. There was definitely no shortage of a lot of people that have not been in the VW scene for a long time popping in just to see what was there, and a lot of connections being remade for sure. So before we wrap up here, guys, any overall impressions? I mean, obviously everybody here liked it. I mean, short of the when George showed up at the house, also we had bugs in the house, so it got weird. But I mean.
And then an unusual large amount of liquor as well.
Yeah. I'm glad George's liver made it through the weekend, but we're good. We're good for that, and I'm looking forward to the next time all of us can get together. I think there would be a good opportunity to go to the show in Phoenix. You guys can fly out to my side of the country because it's pretty cheap. One of you guys works for the airlines, the other one saved so much money buying a truck. He's just got a bank vault of money, plus all the money he makes in the 80s, 90s page. I mean, I'm not even going to get into all that, right? But, I think we need to reconnect at one of the next shows. The next show I'll be going to for sure. I know Octo's tomorrow. I'm not going to make it to Octo tomorrow. I've got transactions to take place, drag cars to get, titles to take. There's lots on my list to do. Number one starts with George McCulloch. I'm hunting him down. I'm going to get this car. I might drive straight to – all right, I'm not going to drive to Sacramento, bro. That's a long drive. That's so long, bro. I get tired just thinking about it.
Yeah. Do you live your life a quarter mile at a time, Bill?
Eighth mile.
Eighth mile at a time. Just doesn't have the same ring as when Vin Diesel says it.
Eighth mile, so I'm trying to be part of the fast. I want to be in some kind. I got kicked out of the bay window mafia. I wasn't allowed in the barn door mafia because I don't have one. Split window mafia. They don't believe I own a split window. And then I tried to find some other mafia. There's too many mafia, so I just want to be part of the cartel.
It's funny. I told Buddy, I was sitting with Buddy one day, and you were out running around, and I was like, "So Turmoil's done, man. Like, congrats. That's awesome." I said, "Can you please finish Bill Split so we can stop hearing about it? Like, just finish the freaking car already."
Right? Imagine.
People are starting to doubt him, man. Like, just get it done. He's like, "No worries. It's going to get done." So rest assured.
That's right. Of course. Albert, I like what Albert has to say here. Albert says, "You live your life a quart of oil at a time." So yeah, I think is there a Fast Four cartel race coming up Medford? Where's Jeff at? Did Jeff log off already? Is Jeff two bourbons deep? What's going on over here, bro?
JK, where you at?
JK, talk to us. Give us an update for the Fast Four cartel.
Dude, that is a cool picture right there. Like, how cool is that?
Sorry, I should block in half the car, bro. Come on, stop it, bro. Come on, so we're here looking at.
Bro, who aged better? Shannon Ray or Future Shock? Come on, be honest.
Bro, I'm not trying to be mean, dude. I'm just saying, like, everything's good, dude. It's all good, dude. It's all good. A little Linda Ronstadt action, dude. So
there you go.
So Jeff, you're listening. I don't know if he's yes to the 2 bourbons deep or where he's at, but when is the next Fast 4 cartel going down in Medford? George, do you know, bro? Repping that. Look, I got 2 of me on here. I booted George off, dude. What happened, bro? What happened to George? What happened?
You've had a twin all this time and
Bro,
we didn't know it. God.
George is busy. Look, George is busy, dude. June 25th and 26th. Is that gonna be in Medford? We're gonna be like says he runs 10s, bro. That's out of line, dude. Out of line.
It's in Medford. Medford's June 20. Yeah, June 25th, 26th is Medford.
All right. So we got. Let's see here.
Is that 10 in the 8th?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh.
yes.
Bro,
Yes.
bro,
Yeah.
that was brutal, dude. He came at you. Dude.
That was savage,
Like,
dude. That was so savage.
No gloves.
Bob comes
dude.
from the back with the clowning, son. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob
in the
came at you
8th.
with the waka waka, dude. You ain't, bro. You
Oof.
are in deep trouble, bro. You got me.
And you know, this is the things I get after all that representing Bob with the Philly cheesesteak that I announced.
Yeah.
You know,
You did get that Philly cheesesteak.
I sure did, but it was a hoagie. I think we thought. Yeah, I think it was a hoagie instead.
We talked about hoagies. We talked about subs, all kinds of stuff. Guys, listen, all you guys that are watching this, dude, listen, live your best life. Come out and meet us at the next event. I got to get a drag car so I can go to the Fast 4 cartel and hang out with all the cool guys up north. That's the plan. And I'm looking forward to getting that. I keep you guys updated. I appreciate everybody for coming on the podcast tonight. We've been cranking at it for an hour 21. It's been kind of slow going, some bad signals. And but for the most part,
You got some editing to do, that's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and we'll definitely we're definitely looking to get together again sometime soon. As far as the calendar schedule this year, there's Prado, there's the Cow Look thing in Southern California. George, any shows you're going to off the top of your? I mean, we know the East Coast boys got to hop a jet and get here, but I'll bring a car for him, dude. You ain't got to cry. You know, Bobby D flies down, dude. You could drive Rag Chop, bro. You live your dream, dude. I get a picture in there of you too.
Right.
You know, you can hop a plane too and come this way. Florida,
All right.
Bug Jam, November.
When's Bug Jam? In
Sounds
November?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, George.
Yeah,
don't
Bug
push
Jam's a
me,
good
bro.
show. It's
George,
worth the trek.
George, don't push me. Put your 2-week notice in now at the DMV, bro, because listen up.
No worries.
We're going to
I'm
Bug
in.
Jam, bro. We're driving our drag cars there. It's going to be the longest drive ever. 6,000 RPM the whole way, dude. You hear me, dude?
Hey, let me put the stock box back on then.
No, bro. Listen, George, I'm making this commitment. You get down to Vegas with the old Cow Looker, and then I'll save a spot for you in a trailer if I still got it. That's the asterisk right there. If I still got it, if it ain't got stolen from me. If I still got it, you bring that. I'm taking a car. We're both going across country. That's right. You know what? Justin Travis says road trip, bro, and I think we're driving, dude. Okay, build a driver because we're all going. We got some blue tape for the front end because you know what that's like in the import scene. That's how they do it when they roll their car shows. And we're gonna road trip that. I'm down to road trip to Florida, bro. I'm calling all you fools out. You guys coming up from PA. We're gonna come from Nevada and Northern California. And I say we collect a lot of people along, like the old back in the day, the old hot VW
California Caravan, baby.
California Caravan. I say we do the caravan. We do the caravan all the way to Florida. I'm down. Bug Jam.
Dade City.
Because I get a lot of people give me the No Dough Bug Show or the Florida Bug Jam. There's a lot of mixed feelings in between the two. Like, which one's better? Which one are we going to, Bob?
I would say Bug Jam for sure. No Dough's the bus show. It's No Dough Bus Show, and they're like
they do a lot of both. They do a lot of it's everything now, but
is it?
No,
okay.
It's a really good show, but it's not as big as Bug Jam.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is when I lived in Orlando, like they're like super like segregated back then. I don't know if they still are, but like the bus guys were always super weird and snobby down there.
Yeah,
like oh, you got a bug, you can't. It's like what? It's air cooled, dude. Like
just shout out
they
to
were
Jeff.
always like
Jeff's a pimp, dude. You see, Jeff loves the Let's Talk Dubs limo, bro. I'm gonna have to find me another limo, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. Limos, drag cars. I need a car hauler to haul this junk, dude. And
well, wait, hold up, Bill. You need one more thing for Fast Four Cartel. There's a couple little extracurricular things that go on. golf cart racing. I know how competitive you are, so bring it. There's a pretty good crew out there, and there's a bunch of other super cool things. Our apple pie contest. So it's a lot of fun, man. You got to come out, but bring that golf cart too.
Listen,
what are y'all doing with apple pies? Do I want to know?
Bro, you buy in, you bake it, and it's history. After that, whatever happens, happens. But it's
okay.
Do not threaten me with a good time with the apple pie. That's for sure.
That's right.
Because remember, some people pay extra for that.
Yeah, no. Listen, it's going to be a good time. We'll be updating you East Coasters on some of our West Coast tours we're going to be doing over here. Look out for us, you guys. Make sure you listen to the podcast. Latest podcast came out last night was Karsten and Maxine, and they're out of Australia. They did a loop in their bus around all of Australia. So I know a couple of you guys got to get caught up on your podcasts. I got 2 heavy hitters that are coming out, and I've got about 6 stacked up coming up. Podcast coming up in the near future, Burley Burlow. I've got Marty and Lance with the Carmageddon Drag Type 34 Carmagia. I've got Dino and Frenchie. We did a deep dive on a 67. And I got Rob with the Berlin Buick. I did a podcast with him. I did Russell Ritchie. I did the DeGiacomos and the Connects. We did kind of a reunion podcast over there, talked about that whole experience in addition to Steve Stanford. Kid Dean brought Steve Stanford by, and we stopped by the booth, talked about all the renderings he's doing, hot VWs. So we've got that one coming up. And also last night I just put Kid Dean in the can. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, I got to do more podcasts this year.
I was going to say, you can take the year off now, dude.
We got a lot of podcasts coming, and I got a lot more headed your way, man. So appreciate you guys for supporting Let's Talk Dubs. I appreciate these 3 fellas that I met through the podcast doing all this stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys out at the next car show. And it looks like we're going to have a reunion sometime in November. Without question, in November, we're going to be doing the we're going to be doing a Florida show. All right. So I'm holding you guys to it. All of you, all 4 of you. You got me?
I'm in. Yeah.
I'm down.
All right, fellas.
Yep. I've already got a bug I can drive down there.
Got to buy a truck and a trailer before then.
Who's that?
No, I've got a bug I can use in Orlando. I'm taking the Southwest jet down. I don't know about y'all.
Tori.
No, bro.
No, you're gonna drive bad temper too, bro.
No way.
You're bringing it down. You're gonna drive
crazy.
bad temper. Listen, you're gonna drive bad temper too, and Bob's gonna follow you in a scallop car.
We keep hearing about how fast Bad Temper 2 was. Put it up against Bill's race bug.
No, bro.
Oh,
we're gonna
snap.
knuckle up in the street, bro. We're gonna take it out. I'm taking Alex's title. I saw it was a car show I was gonna post up. He got number 9 in the car show, and I was like, yo, that's my dog right there. Number 9. I got 9th place. That's my dog. I'm gonna post it up for you guys later. But until next week, guys. Later.